scribbled some. Don't get time, like. Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, teachers, students, parents, staff, and the management. I am honored to be here today as the chief guest for this vibrant annual cultural day of Anantha Sai VIdya Nikethan. When I see this melange of people, I am being reminded of my school days. Over a period of time, I have developed certain convictions, you might call them as core beliefs or traits, some traits I come from. And I would like to share them with you all today. I come from a very poor background or a family, you may call. My father was a clerk. My mother was a homemaker. And my medium of instruction was in Telugu. This is up to 10th intermediate. I come from Karimnagar, but I lost my father at an early age, and all my ability and stubbornness to rely upon, there are few traits in me which I believe had made me into this today where I am. The foundation of any student, I see in every mother representing a student, because they're so tiny, they don't have any concept of it as such. It is the mother who should behave as a student. That is all what I feel. And the most important foundation for a student is hard work. Hard work. This hard work in this modern world of artificial intelligence still works. Nothing replaces hard work. Believe it, a mother becomes a perfectionist at home by working hard. If you ask, we live as a family at home. Today, you ask father, you ask a child to go and make a cup of coffee early in the morning. The dexterity, as a master, your mother prepares a cup of coffee, and if the mother is sick, you ask the father to make. He will spoil 4 cups. He will damage the whole tabletop. So what I am trying to tell is, your mother acquired all those talents only by repetition. A passionate repetition has led her to become a master chef of the kitchen. In the same, if you apply the same, we don't have to take lot many peoples in the, every day you read Jeff Bezos, every day you read Steve Jobs, every day hard workers coming in the headlining. You have your own masterpieces at home. Why don't you practice them to develop into a smart worker? First foundation is hard work. Repetition produces a smart work. A smart work is the workhorse of the modern times, because life is time sensitive. Like OTPs we get, they are all time sensitive. Life gives you a limited time offer. You have to redistribute them in your life. Supposing I give you, being a doctor, I always say this one. If a child doesn't walk at the age of 1 year to 14 months, mother is worried. The mother takes the child to doctor. Why is my child not walking, doctor? May I know the reason for it? Likewise, we have stages in life. As education life, during education, how best to utilize our lives for the best. Why are we doing all these things? For a better human being, to treat ourselves better, to treat our families better. When every family grows, the country automatically grows. Nobody needs to stop it. Now, there is one more perfection I would like to have you any time gone to a temple? Every day we go. Have you ever observed a pujari? He holds a pan in the right hand and the bell in the left hand. So synchronously, can you do it? We cannot do it because we have not perfected the technique. I strongly believe repetition gives you smartness. The repetition, mind has a very fallible one. The fallible one, what if you do not repeat, it tends to lose all the memories it has. And comparison. People talk of comparison. Don't compare yourself with others. We don't compare with ourselves. You compare yourself with your yesterday. Are you a better version of your life? From yesterday, if you compare. If you are a better version, you are on the path of progress. on a road to success. This is what I believe. So-called a Kaizen, you know, you must have heard of a lot of books talking of Japanese philosophies. Kaizen, slow, gradual, incremental improvement. Don't compare your child. Another school student comes from a different background. You come from a different background. We should not compare at all. Has your child making a progress? Is he making any progress or not? This is what I have seen in my life. I would like to share with you all. Greed. People talk of greed. Why greed? Greed is bad, greed is bad. It is always given throughout the world a negative one. I say greed is good. Greed is good because unless you acquire knowledge, you cannot share it with others. Your colleague, your friend, your classmate has a good knowledge and you are behind. If you have not acquired knowledge, you cannot stand on par with him. So greed is good in acquisition of knowledge. When you acquire knowledge, you can share. When you acquire knowledge, you feel that you are great. You are not great unless you share it. Because once you share it, you will know where your weaknesses are. You will come over a period of time, you become a sharp guy. So this is one of the features every student should possess is greed. Greed for acquisition of knowledge. I am not talking of wealth here. Wealth of education, wealth of knowledge, wealth of things. Stubbornness. One important thing is stubbornness. Stubbornness is very important. It produces a winning streak in people. What is when we winning streak? Each time we fall, we criticize people. Nothing is going to stop. Neither success nor a failure. Everything is like a passing cloud. It will disappear over a period of time. Everybody forgets. If you see Virat Kohli today, every day, though he is successful, every day he has to get up in the morning, go for net practicing. If he doesn't practice over a period of, he is going to perish. So, to practice, you have to be stubborn. To rise up, forget the failures, keep doing your job. I will assure you, you can be successful. And if you see, history is full of such anecdotes, stories. Boris Becker, you can see Andre Agassi, Gukesh, all these people, every morning, they forget their success. They just keep working to maintain their success, to be much more in their careers. Now, what is that? Why should we? If you see every week, we work nicely for 5 days. Sunday comes, we are relaxed. We do not have a schedule, you know. The word ikigai comes from purpose of life. What is the purpose in your life? The purpose in life is lost on Sunday most of the times. So we feel like getting up late. So we lose couple of hours. So unless you establish a purpose of life, that means a plan for tomorrow. If you plan for tomorrow, you feel like getting up early. You set your alarm early. You take couple of hours early and finish off your work. Please remember, this is very important purpose. For that, a planning is essential. Planning is essential. We are living in the world of artificial intelligence. Nobody is talking of natural intelligence. We are only talking of artificial. What is artificial intelligence? It's a database. You feed it, it collects and records it, registers it. Whereas this container has a natural reservoir. The contents of it has been there from utero. Utero means from the womb of a mother. So people should understand that the more database you collect, this database has more power than an artificial intelligence, which people should remember. Hence, you must cultivate this brain to make the best use of artificial intelligence in progress of our life. What is information? Information should lead to knowledge. What is, if you go to airport, you have a list of informations giving, that doesn't give you knowledge. It's an information only. But information should lead to knowledge, and the knowledge should lead to wisdom. A beautiful example keeps on recurring in many books is tomato. Some people call it tomato as a vegetable. Some people call tomato as a fruit. But the wisdom prevails only when you decide a tomato is a fruit and this fruit cannot be used in salad. You must understand this very clearly. So, the wisdom is to deep understanding, a deep understanding of the situation, deep ability to discern and deep understanding will help us pave way for a growth. Change. A change is very important in life. People do not understand the change, subject change ho gaya, books change ho gaya. Change is the only constant thing in the universe. Change is, we come, we go, other people come, they go, giving place to others. Everything has an expiry date. Every person, everything, book, you call it as an expiry date, including the cup you carry. We don't know when it breaks. So, or a shelf life. So, the updation, to overcome the change, to accept the change, one has to update himself. Unless you update yourself, you cannot achieve, you cannot stand abreast with others. So, updation is very, very important. And for updation, you need to have, or a changing circumstances, you must have adaptability, you must have flexibility. Otherwise, even the dinosaurs perished. We also will perish like them. Success. Success is a very, every mother, father, everybody, everywhere people talk of success, success, success. Today's success does not guarantee tomorrow's success. We see in cricket, we see in Nobel laureates, we see in everywhere, in every field of life, we see success. But the success does not guarantee tomorrow. So what one should do to remain successful most of the times, one should work hard to invest the present success in future success. So you cannot remain idle seeking that I am resting on your laurels. So failures are inherent part of, people do not talk of failures. Failure is an inherent part of life. Most of the times, if you success people, you interview them, they failed a lot. But their success is only projected. Each time you fail, people should encourage them to bounce back to the previous, so that they remain abreast with this ego. Most important thing, the moment you are lucky and somehow you have a blessing of the Lord and the cosmic elements, you have become successful, people come and garland you, and the ego in you, every person has ego, every person has an ego in some quantity. Unless you control it, the success feeds it, the ego starts rising. So one should learn the art of getting grounded in spite of earning laurels for themselves. A very important thing, you should be egoless. We know two stories of Mohini Bhasmasura and hubris in Greek mythology. They are all of the same stories, you know. When you become skillful, why should you develop a skill? When you develop a skill, what happens is that the science becomes an art. The science becomes an art. How does a science become an art? You take a potter, takes a clay of mud and makes a pot out of it. We cannot make it. People should understand this. So people should develop such a skill, it should become part of his life. Then the science becomes an art in his life. Transformations. So there are two Sanskrit words for it. In transforming a person's human life. One is sankalpamu. The word sankalpa in a crude way stands for intention. In a crude way or in a loose term is intention. Unless you have an intention, you cannot do sadhana. Very important. An intention has intention to succeed something, intention to achieve something. In other words, in simple English, is achieving a goal. So if you have a goal and you work towards it, after some time, you have done sadhana. Sadhana means a methodical, disciplinary approach to solve or reach a goal. So unless you do this, the chrysalis in you will not become a butterfly. The chrysalis in you, every child is a butterfly inside, but they are always in a pupa state or a chrysalis state. Unless you work hard, it gets uncovered, the butterfly of the talent comes out of his body. And last but not, the typical complaint is, my son has less memory. The other fellow has more memory. No. There are two concepts of memories. One is called a retentive memory and second is retrieval memory. Your son by hearts everything, learns by rote and he nicely narrates it to the mother. But when he goes to the examination hall, he cannot retrieve it. So the second most important component, how best are you repeating it? How best are you retrieving your subject, whatever that means? That means hands-on workshop. Whatever that you have read should be reproducible. When you sit at home, your mother asks, whatever you have read, write in. This component, what I have seen, is lacking. With all due respect, this is hands-on workshop. Unless you practically do it, you are not, you are unlikely to. You go to the examination hall, you have a lot of subjects, but you are not able to retrieve and put it in black and white in the examination hall. Why are we talking? Why are you talking so much about goodness, stubbornness, and all these things? So much about to become a better human being, utilizing our inner resources, outer resources, whatever, wherever you are working or whichever the school, so that we can contribute to our life and the people around us, so that we become a better human beings and better people for the society. I repeat, human life is limited. It is a limited offer one. The nature occupies. We are going to go. Science is eternal. We have to keep on adapting ourselves to the changing circumstances, and let us make the best use of our stay in this world, a best useful starting from the childhood, which is very important. Once you become an adult, it's like a large tree, you cannot mend it. It's no longer malleable or ductile. See, so now it is time, I would like to conclude by saying very important thing. It is time to unleash your inner scientist. There is a scientist in every boy. There is a scientist, there is an actor in every boy. There is a rock star in every boy. There is a lawyer in every boy. All you need is to unleash it by proactive approach to the child. And we can't wait. Have an incredible journey. Buckle up and stay and enjoy the ride of life. And I would like to stop it at this point. There is a nice way I would like to put. Everybody talks of positive. I would like to talk something about negative also. A recipe for failure. A very important recipe for failure. Everybody talks, I got good marks. Recipe for failure, I have got a few sentences. Getting up late in the morning. You have lost already a couple of hours of the day. Very important thing. Doctor, do you get up? Yes, I get up at 4:30 in the morning and work up to 11 o'clock. The second important thing is only do thinking, you don't do anything, only thinking, procrastination. Procrastination, temporizing, delaying things. So don't, and people are only studies. You don't learn any skill. Not learning a new skill, because there are about 80 billion neurons in the brain. Only 10 millions are being used. Unless you learn another skill, the dormant neurons in the body, they don't wake up to help you out. So always learn, keep on learning new skills to help you. It does not mean going to cricket, even helping your mother chopping vegetables for her. Suddenly you are given a task, you are not able to do it. Last but not the least, the modern scourge of human life. Practically we are left with only one hand. The second hand is fully always occupied with a cell phone. You remember, you see people on scooters. Yeah, every time you see, we are not ambidextrous, no longer ambidextrous. We are not ambidextrous, monodextrous. The second hand is dedicated to a cell. What I am trying to tell is, don't use the modern, make the best use of it. And there is so much of YouTube material, make the best use of the material. I sometimes operate New York hospital surgeries in Hyderabad. I can't go there. My life doesn't allow, my practice doesn't allow. I get the information from the YouTubes, various professors who operate the techniques. We adapt them to this. That before I conclude, I would like to request every child should exercise. Exercise is important. And if you exercise, it increases the circulation to the brain. Once it increases circulation to the brain, it detoxifies. It's a stress releaser. So please do not discourage from your child from exercising. Last but not the least is a spiritual component that we all talk. We go to God, we go to various faiths, go to various places. The most important thing that people have to understand, you have to work and pray. And pray and work. Only praying doesn't suffice. You have to work and pray and work. It's a vicious cycle. Never expect going to temples, going to things and not studying the second another component which are intermingled. You are not going to achieve anything. You pray and work, you work and pray. It's a cyclical process. It takes the vicious things out into virtuous cycle. Thank you very much for a patient hearing. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everybody.
Sir.